Hey, welcome to Hooper's Radar. Today we are going to be ranking every NBA duo from every team. Let's get straight into it. So I have all 30 NBA duos here right in front of us, and we're going to be starting with the Brooklyn Nets duo, Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson. They managed to keep afloat and still make the playoffs this year, but this isn't really one of those all-star level duos. Mikal Bridges is basically the solo star in Brooklyn right now, so I'm really just going to give them just a tiny bit of consideration because there might be a couple of worse duos on this list and put them at C tier. For the next one, we got Jordan Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen. And to me, I'm going to be honest, I got them also in C tier. They're a solid duo. Lauri Markkanen had a great year. Jordan Clarkson is still one of the best players. But they kind of are up here with the Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson type of tier. I just think they're slightly bit better, but I'm not going to be ranking within tiers. I'm just going to put them in tiers. So, yeah, the Jazz C tier. They are better than the Nets, though. Next, we got Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. A very good duo. I still want to see more from them. I don't want to put them above these two duos because these two duos have proven a bit more in terms of regular season success and being consistent for more years. Paolo and Franz just got to the league, so I'm going to put them at D tier for now. They could definitely rise in the future. Next, we got LaMelo and Miles Bridges. I know they drafted Brandon Miller, but this was the duo before, and we don't know what Brandon Miller's averages are going to look like. And Miles Bridges is still a more talented player right now than Brandon Miller. So for now, I'm going to put them also in, I think I'm going to put them in C tier or D tier is tough. LaMelo is also pretty good, but Miles Bridges only really had one great season. So I'm going to put him at D tier for now. Don't at me in the comments. These are my opinions. I think this duo could definitely get better. They haven't led to much regular season success, though. Next, we have Zion and Brandon Ingram. I think when this duo is healthy, they're B tier or A tier possibly. It's very tough to see because Zion and Brandon Ingram haven't really been healthy together for much, but I'm going to put them in B tier for sure. I think they could be a very good duo when healthy, and we're going off of health because with Zion, that's really all you can go off of. This guy doesn't play that many games. Next, we got the Warriors duo, Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. And I think at this point, because Klay isn't prime Klay anymore, I'm going to put him also in B tier. Curry really does carry this duo a bit to B tier. If Curry wasn't part of this duo and it was like Jordan Poole, this probably would be C tier, but Curry brings him up to B tier. Next, we have Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma. And I think Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are going to be down here on D tier. Just a great offensive duo, lacks complete defense or anything. I think that's the argument you can make for at least Mikal and Cameron Johnson. They're not that bad of a duo because Mikal is a solid defender. I might have to move the Nets duo because now when I look at them, they aren't really all that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Wizards down here at D tier. They're just two light skins that want to get buckets and just be flashy. Next, we have Scoot and Sharp. I know they still have Anthony Simons. Damian Lillard won't be on this team, so I'm assuming this will be the duo for them because Sharp and Scoot kind of are more of a duo with chemistry than I assume Scoot and Anthony will. And I think they're going to be a very good duo in the future, but they're going to be D tier. They're going to be on a team that isn't going to get a lot of wins, and that's kind of where this Portland Trailblazers duo of Sharp and Scoot falls into D tier. The Nets and Jazz have been a little bit more winning and contributed more winning, and that's why. And these two duos are better fits in my opinion than Kyle Kuzma and them. Scoot and Sharp still got to prove things. Franz and Paulo really had one good season together. Got to see more. Next, we got Shai and Giddey, and I'm very high on this duo. I don't know about putting them yet in that B tier yet because they are still yet to prove more, but they're definitely going to be C tier for me. Giddey, great playmaker, can do a little bit of everything. Shai came off a great year, MVP caliber year, averaged 30 and 5 and 5, was just a beast for the Thunder, got them to the play-in. So because they showed some success this year, I'm going to put them in C tier, but if this was possibly another team that tanked again and was in the lottery, well, they were in the lottery, but if this was a team in the bottom of the West instead of in the play-in, I would have probably put them D tier, but they showed some success this year. OKC deserves C tier. Next, we got Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and I think this is a much better duo than C tier for sure. I mean, we're talking about Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, two 20-point per game guys, two of the best guards in the league right now. And now that they had an underwhelming playoff series against the Knicks, they do deserve B tier, and I'm going to put them right here in B tier. Next, we got Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. And I like this duo mainly because of Brunson, but the drop off in the playoffs just can't be denied, and that's why I can't put them in B tier. Brunson and Randall are a pretty good duo, very good duo actually in the regular season. Matter of fact, Randall is probably the best player on the Knicks in the regular season because his production and endurance during games and able to stay healthy, you just can't unvalue that. You know, you can't overvalue that, and you can't undervalue that. And Randall, he just falls off in the playoffs though, and I think that's what drops this duo from potentially a B to a C. Brunson's still great though. Next we got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and yes, they're my S tier duo, man. These guys were dropping 30 points every night in the playoffs together. They're just an elite duo, elite mid-range scorers, can score on all three levels, to be quite honest. They're just two of the best players in the league right now on the same team, and two of the most nuclear scorers. I mean, Booker was tearing up the playoffs, and so was KD. KD was more inconsistent, but they're just a superstar level duo, to be quite honest. Next, we have Paul George and Kawhi. And for me, Paul George and Kawhi have the potential to be an S tier duo, but just because they haven't really been up to par and staying healthy, and when they have been together in the playoffs, it hasn't looked as insane in terms of production and performances as KD and Booker have shown already together. But they've both been pretty good. I'm going to put them in A tier for sure. I just like this duo a lot when they are healthy, and I'm going to keep them in A tier. Next, we got Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. You guys already know where I'm going to put this. Cade can't really stay healthy at the moment. We haven't seen much of Ivy in them, and that just lands them in D tier. They haven't shown any much of success as a team exactly in getting in a higher seeding or making the play-in, and for me, that's why they're going to stay in D tier until they start showing some success, at least playing games together. Ivy's probably been more healthy than Cade at this point. Next, we got Domantas Sabonis and Fox, the Sacramento Kings duo. And for me, I'm going to put them in A tier. They showed a lot this year in terms of playoff success and in terms of regular season success. These are two players that both played 60 to 60 plus games in the regular season and were the reason why they had a high seeding in the West. And they're just a very good duo. Yes, Sabonis dropped off in the playoffs, but he was still somewhat solid. Fox, on the other hand, upped his level in the playoffs. And I just like this duo a lot. I think it's one of the most underrated duos in the NBA. Next, we got Ja Morant and Desmond Bane, and I like this duo a lot. They're an interesting duo. One's a sharpshooter and an undersized shooting guard. Sharpshooter. Well, not undersized, he's 6'4", but he kind of is undersized considering his wingspan is small. But Desmond Bane, one of the most underrated shooting guards, and at times has looked like the #1 option for the Grizzlies in the playoffs. And we got Ja Morant. We still know Ja Morant is incredibly talented, and I'm going to put this duo in A tier. They're a very good duo. They've been to the playoffs consistently since Ja and Desmond have gotten there. And even though they lacked some success in the playoffs, they've still been a very competitive team in the regular season and have put up a fight in the playoffs a couple of times. And I like this duo. They have potential to honestly be A tier. Next, we have Cat and Anthony Edwards. And this duo is a little bit lackluster. I don't want to like put them in C tier, but I might have to because even though Cat is great, he just drops off in the playoffs, and that's kind of what lowers it for me. And I don't know if I would say that Cat and Anthony Edwards are a better duo than everybody in B tier, because Cat just isn't the same in the playoffs. So call me crazy, but I'm going to have to put Anthony Edwards and Cat in C tier. They have a little bit more to prove to me. They're kind of in that Julius Randle Brunson tier where Anthony Edwards and Brunson ball out in the playoffs, but Cat and Randle underperform most of the time. So yeah, they're going to land in C tier for me. Next, we got Kyrie Irving and Luka. I know they didn't make the playoffs at all together in the few games they played, that little small sample size, but they're going to be great this year. They got that Mavericks roster together, and this can't be denied. This is one of the best duos in the NBA, potentially S tier. I think I might go S tier for Kyrie and Luka. I mean, we go look from a talent perspective. Yes, the chemistry wasn't exactly there at times during this year, and they had a couple of plays where they were both just sitting there watching the other one go to work. But if this duo gets it right, they are definitely an S tier duo talent-wise, and they could be on that Kevin Durant Booker level where they can both go for 30 or 40 every single night together and combine for 80 points. And that's why I'm going to put Kyrie and Luka in S tier. Next, we have DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, and they're a solid duo. They're between C and B for me. It's a tough area because they haven't really seen much playoff success and regular season success since DeJounte got there. Trae honestly had more success by himself, but This is a solid duo, but they have their struggles, and that's why I'm going to put them at C tier. I just don't have them over the B tier guys who are just clearly on another level when they're healthy or able to play. DeJounte Murray is kind of the weak link in this duo, and Trae Young even though Trae Young had a very good year production-wise, he had a down year. He just, what he was doing out there didn't contribute a lot to winning games, and neither did DeJounte, and this was an awkward fit kind of as a duo. It's not the most seamless fit chemistry-wise. So that's why they're going to land at C tier, but they have B tier potential for sure. Next, we have Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin. Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin have a lot of potential as a duo. They were very good this year together, and I'm going to put them at C tier. I think I'm going to put them at C tier or D tier. I'm very in between. Halliburton had a great year, was an all-star. Mathurin was at the top of the Rookie of the Year ladder for a while. But Paolo was just a clear consensus, but Mathurin was there at the number 2 spot for most of the year. He came out as one of the best rookies, arguably the best rookie besides Paolo Banchero when the season started, and Benedict was just sensational. It's tough between Halliburton and them, but I think I'm going to put D tier for now. I want to see them have more regular season success and playoff success. I don't think it'd be fair for me to put the Rookie of the Year and another very good rookie in D tier while I put Tyrese Halliburton, who's an all-star, and the second guy in the Rookie of the Year race also in C tier. So I'm going to put him in D tier. I think it makes sense right now. They got to show more success. Next, we have the San Antonio Spurs. And I couldn't really find much of a photo or anything of Keldon Johnson and him, so I picked out this Victor Wembanyama photo that has Popovich on the left and Keldon Johnson on the right. And I think this duo has a lot of potential going into next season. It's going to be definitely interesting, this duo. Obviously, I'm going to put them at D tier for now. We're going on potential, and Keldon Johnson still has to make a lot of strides, and Victor Wembanyama, I think, is going to be pretty good. We still haven't seen much of him, and that's why I'm going to be hesitant before I start putting him with a little bit more accomplished duos that have been longer together, like the C tier. So I'm going to put them in D tier for now. Keldon Johnson is very good, but he is the weaker link in this duo. Next, we have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You guys already know where I'm going to put this duo. This duo goes in S tier. In terms of production, defense, this duo is very good. You got two-way players. Yes, LeBron's defense has dropped off, but in the playoffs, I saw him have some very good stints where he actually put effort into defense. He's getting older, so he's not going to always put as much effort into the defensive end as he used to. He's probably going to be a little bit more productive on the offensive end, but Anthony Davis was sensational these playoffs. LeBron was also pretty good. And this is a duo that has already won a championship with them two as the number 1 and number 2 option and as the duo on the team. And they've already proven it. Bubble year won the championship with these two at the forefront of it. And yeah, they're a superstar duo. S tier. Makes sense. Next, we got Giannis and Chris Middleton. This is a tough one. Chris Middleton and Giannis have already won a championship together. I'm going to put them in A tier because they've won the chip. They've proven it. Chris Middleton, yes, he hasn't been the same for a bit. He struggled with injuries, but I'm not going to ignore that he did have a very good playoff game this year when Giannis was out. I believe he had 30, and he still has it in him. He just needs to stay healthy, and with staying healthy, consistency will come. And when this duo won a championship, and when this duo was actually healthy and Middleton was healthy before he ran into injuries this year and last year, this duo was very good. People, I saw the memes. People were having Chris Middleton as the Batman and Giannis as the Robin. That's how actually good this duo really is. And Middleton will definitely, I think, make a comeback. This duo is A tier. They've already proven it. Championship, proven it. Regular season 1 seed multiple times already. Very good duo. Next, we have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because of their struggles this year, I'm not going to put them in S tier. They definitely have S tier potential, but they struggled in the playoffs. Brown majorly struggled in the playoffs. Tatum struggled in the finals last year. You never really see this duo exactly both hit it off at the same time and both perform very well at the same time. And that's why I don't know yet if they're that S tier level. We've seen all the duos in S tier perform very good at the same time. Tatum and Brown, it's either one of them that are usually popping off or doing good. And this year was Tatum's playoff year. Brown had a down year in the playoffs. So very good duo still. Managed to bring the Boston Celtics to a top seed these last couple years. Still a very good duo. S tier potential. Keep them an A for now. Next, we got Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green. This will be the new Houston Rockets duo. And for me, I still got to see more before, we get into it. But just based off of what Jalen Green can do and what Fred VanVleet has also been able to do, I'm between C and D. There's a you can make an argument for either or. I think Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green will be a solid duo, and I'm going to pick a little bit of upside because Fred VanVleet is a very good veteran presence, which there's not really any vets. There's not really any vets at all here in D tier. I think Fred VanVleet will turn Jalen Green into a very good player. Yes, I know we still haven't seen it. I'm blindly ranking a bit, but I'm going to go off potential. Green will have a great year. He will have honestly, he had a breakout year his rookie year. He averaged 20 a game, but I think he'll have another breakout year in terms of efficiency, in terms of playing the game the right way with Fred VanVleet as that veteran starting point guard. Next, we have Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. I chose Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid as a duo for the Sixers because I'm assuming James Harden won't be on this team. He did request a trade. He is yet to be traded, but knowing James Harden, he'll either probably sit out or he'll find some way to get traded. So I'm gonna go Embiid and Maxey. Embiid was the MVP. He's still very good in the regular season. I'm between C and B. I don't know yet. I mean, could go off potential. I'm gonna go B tier. For now, you have the MVP, and that uplifts this duo a bit. And Maxey has been very good in the playoffs. He was pretty good in the playoffs this year. You can make an argument that Maxey was better than Harden in the playoffs this year, with the exception that Harden did have those 240 bombs that kept the Sixers in that Celtics series. But Maxey and Embiid are going to be a pretty good duo. Maxey is an all-star caliber player. Embiid is the MVP. I think that's what lands them in B tier. For now, I'm going to keep them there for now. We'll see how they do together. Next, we got the Toronto Raptors duo. With Fred VanVleet out, Scottie Barnes will be part of the Pascal duo. Before it was Pascal and Fred VanVleet. I think Scottie will take that next leap as now probably the point guard, potentially the point guard now that Fred VanVleet is gone, unless Schroeder's a starting point guard, but I would like them to experiment with Scottie. And him and Pascal have the potential to be a solid duo. I definitely want to see more from them. Pascal and Fred didn't have a lot of success getting to the playoffs in recent years. They've struggled a couple of times. I know they got to it during the bubble season and a couple of years, but recently, these past 2 seasons, they have had their struggles getting to the playoffs, and I don't know if Scottie can do any better. Scottie is probably going to be a better player than Fred VanVleet soon, so I'm going to put them in C tier for now. This is a duo that Pascal is a proven player, all-NBA caliber player, one of the most underrated players in the league, and has proven playoff success, regular season success. Scottie will be fitting in this duo role. I'll put them in C tier. They definitely have B tier potential, though. Next, we got Jokic and Jamal Murray. You guys already know where I'm going to put Jokic and Jamal Murray. S tier duo. You got the best player in the NBA part of this duo. I think that gets them to A tier at least. And Jamal Murray is the perfect closer, perfect second option to Jokic. Plays completely off of Jokic. We're talking about a duo that dropped 2 triple-doubles together in one game. A duo that dominated the playoffs and dominated the finals. I don't think anything needs to be said. They got it done. They got the championship. Jamal Murray and Jokic are just spectacular together. I don't think anything else needs to be said. Next, we have Jimmy Butler and Bam. And for me, Jimmy Butler and Bam are a very good duo. And they got to the finals together. Jimmy was great in the playoffs. Even though Jimmy's play dropped off in the finals, Bam was great in the playoffs. And that's why I'm going to put this duo in A tier. They are a very good duo. One of the most underrated duos. One of the best duos that are two-way. 2 guys that can lock up on defense, play great on ball, and play great on team defense. Just 2 players that are great on both ends of the floor. And Jimmy Butler's a great closer. Bam is great at holding it down. One of the most underrated duos. Just great. One of those duos that you can say plays both ends of the floor and both ends of the ball on an elite level. That's why I got Bam and Jimmy at A tier. Last duo, we got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. You know already where this duo is going to go. They're going to go in C tier. Haven't had much success getting to the playoffs. When they first got to Chicago, Alonzo Ball, they did have a very good regular season, but they got swept in the first, well, not swept, but I think they won 1 game against the Bucks in that first round that year. And ever since that, they've really struggled to make the playoffs. Almost beat the Miami Heat this year to make the play-in, but they didn't pull it off. And this is a very good duo, 2 all-stars, but they haven't had much success, and that's why I can't put them at B tier. You know, at least the Sixers have gotten into the second round. The Bulls really haven't gotten into the second round in the LaVine, DeRozan era. So I'm going to put them at C tier. These are all my NBA duos ranked. I hope you guys see this list and don't really flame me in the comments. Please let me know what you guys think about this list in the comments. Let me know where you guys would have changes. Where would you guys rank certain duos? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe to stay on the radar for all things basketball.